Hey everyone, welcome back to another video tutorial from the Apex Predator Billiards Club. My name is Apex telling you, and in today's video we're going to be looking at a 8-ball scenario which can be extended to a 9-ball scenario. Of course, the value that you can get from this video is value added to the way you play position, the way you think about position, and of course just understanding different routes to get onto your objective ball if there are blockers in the way. The table layout as presented here has a lot of room for error, but this is where most of the time, whenever you have a large area for or room for error, you tend to make the most mistakes. So we're going to be looking at the best ways to play position. Of course, I've figured out 6 different options in which you can actually get onto the 7 to go back onto the 8. And so I'm going to be explaining these to you. If you like the content that is being posted on my channel, consider subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notification bell, which is most important. If there's value, consider dropping a like, and please share it out to your pool communities out there so that others can learn from me and I can also learn from you. So let's get it, let's go, and let's add some more power to your positional game. Alright guys, so here's the table layout. We have the 6 that is near to the side. We have the 7 all the way down here that is hidden behind the 9. We have the 8 in the other half of the table, and so we have the 9 all the way down here. So of course the cue ball is going to be doing a lot of movement. But of course, what is crucial about running out this 8-ball or 9-ball rack is the position that you get on the 7. So if we go around here and we were to draw an imaginary line as steep as possible here, if I were to draw an imaginary line from the contact spot and extend it to the rail, you'll see that I created a triangular region right here. And this would be the region or the zone that I would like to land in. So of course, if I end up a bit steep, I can pocket the 7 and go 1 rails up for the 8. If I end up in between very steep and very flat, I can go 1, 2 rails and head high onto the short rail. Maybe depending on the speed, I might walk the short rail and back out for an angle. And if I end up extremely flat with almost little or no angle, then I can go 1, 2 rails, 3 rails back onto the 8. So the position on the 7 is going to be absolutely crucial in how you transition onto the 8 so as to get back onto the 9. So let's go ahead and execute this shot. Alright guys, so here's option number 1. Pocketing the 6 in the side. We're going to try to catch this rail here, and ideally I'd like to catch the edge or the vertex of the triangular zone so as to head into here with a very steep or steepish sort of angle. So here we go. I'm going to be using draw with a little bit of left, so this is low left spin. We're going to allow the spin to do the work, so we don't need to play the shot as hard. Low left, spin, do the work. So we have landed into the zone, and we are just about in between very steep and very flat. So here, I don't think we can go one rail. I think it would be best if we pocket the 7 and go 1, 2, and perhaps head in this area here. So let's control the speed. And again, this is just low left. And we land nicely onto the 8. So we can easily now pocket the 8 if it's an 8 ball situation, and we would win the rack. And if it's a 9 ball rack, we are nicely onto the 9. For the out. So there you have it, guys. That is option number 1. Very nice clearance, very nice control on our cue ball, and very precise positional play. Let's have a look at option number 2. Alright guys, so here is option number 2. Again, ideally you'd like to pocket the 6 ball into the side, but let us just say, for example, there was a blocker here in the 3 rail route, or maybe there's a blocker somewhere here, or there's a blocker in the middle of the table preventing you from getting that sort of route or that sort of position. Another option here is to pocket the 6 into the side, slightly overcutting the 6 to the right side of the side pocket, landing right in front of the 8, coming down, maybe catching this rail here and holding the angle for the 7. Ideally, pocketing the 6, I'd like to play with enough speed to catch the rail, come down here and bounce for the angle. Because sometimes if you play a bit too soft or too hard, then you might end up way too flat. So you've just got to be careful with a position like this. So here we go. Just using a natural cue ball here, overcutting slightly, natural cue ball. So you can see this cue ball is coming nicely into the zone. I'm just outside of the edge of that zone, but I have a very nice angle here that I can cut the 7 and simply just go 1 rail past the 9 up for the 8. Allow the cue ball to get a little bit away from me there. Might have had some unwanted side spin. So it's a little difficult to get back onto the 9 because the angle is a bit flat and I'm very close to the rail. But it is an 8 ball situation, which is what I'm dealing with here. I'm back onto the 8 for the out. And so of course, just that little, just the way how the cue ball got away from me, it made it a little bit hard for me to get back onto the 9. So I'd literally have to settle for this hard cut on this 9 here. But of course, the whole idea, guys, is getting the run or getting the out onto the 8. So that's option number 2. Let's have a look at option number 3. Alright guys, so here's a more advanced option, as I will call it. Here, instead of choosing to go for the side, I can actually try to pocket the 6 straight up using center ball, going 1 rail, back over here, 2 rails, 3. The advantage with this shot is that as long as I catch the second rail with the correct speed, I'm going to be heading over and I'm going to be keeping my angle for a very large time period. Okay, because if I play here and back out here, I will still have an angle. However, the disadvantage is that the shot is a bit tougher and requires absolute pure hit onto the cue ball and clean contact onto the contact spot of the 6 ball. So let's see if we can execute this one time. So I'll go through my entire shot routine here. Okay. I'll try to pocket the 6 as clean as possible with center ball. And there you have it, guys. Of course, pocketing the 6, going 2 reels, back onto the 7. I have a flattish kind of angle on the 7, but I can transition from the 7 back to the 8. In fact, I actually told you that I use center, but I actually didn't. It did take me a couple of tries, because when I tried to use center, I kept coming a bit deep. And I kept coming onto the short side of the 7, which would not have been ideal to get back onto the 8. So in actuality, what I did is that I actually used a bit of stun follow to get the 2 reel positional route. So here we go. We are very close to our work. We are very flat, so definitely going 1, 2, 3 reels to go back onto the 8. Didn't have as much spin as I would like, which is why now I have a tough shot onto the 8. Should be able to make this though. Hopefully I do not scratch. Oh, just a little bit close. Just because of the steep angle there. I almost got away, but now I'm on the 9. And that is the out for option number 3. Now that option is a tougher option, and like I said, it did take me a couple of tries to actually get the 1, 2 reel route, because I had initially thought that I had to play center, but in fact, to get that 1, 2 reel, it was just a tip or a half a tip above center. So that's option number 4. Let's look at 2 more advanced options, option number 5 and 6. All right, guys, this is actually going to be the last option, because all the other options are pretty much variances of option number 1 and 2. I'm just going to name them for you. Instead of using draw to catch here, here, and here, you could actually use just draw only. Instead of using draw with left spin, you can actually just use draw, catch here, here, and come into the zone, which is similar to option number 1. And of course, you could try to go into the side, catch here, come here, and come in this zone, which is a much more difficult shot, which I do not recommend. So the final option, which is the most advanced option, and not one that you'd use in this particular situation, but you can actually bank the 6 ball here into the corner, draw the cue ball back onto this reel, back over here for the 7. So let's see if you can execute this final option here, guys. So the object ball seems to be on the 61 or the 62-31 track line. I'm using draw. So here we go for the bank option. I did get the bank, but I didn't get enough draw for the 7. Let's try that one more time, guys. Needed a bit more speed on that one for the bank. So here we go. Alright, so there you have it, guys. I drew banked the 6, brought it into the short rail here, back over there. I have a straightish angle. It's a little bit difficult to get back onto the 8, but I should be able to cheat the pocket slightly, go 1, 2, use a spin to get back onto the 8. So let's see what we can do with this. It's a bit straight, guys. So let's see here. Need to generate as much spin as possible. And so we were able to generate enough spin to get back onto the 8. So if it was an 8-ball scenario, we would be out. Unfortunately, I didn't play enough speed onto the 8 to get back onto the 9 for an ideal shot. But hopefully, I should be able to execute this shot here on the 9. For the out. So there you have it, guys. 4 very clinical options in which you can use to get an out based on this scenario. So hopefully you guys can experiment on some of those options. The final option, which was a very advanced one, was very difficult. It took me a lot of tries to get it, but eventually you guys saw that it was possible. All right, so thank you guys for watching. Of course, consider subscribing, liking, sharing my content, and add some more value to your positional game. So good luck with your pool game, and I'll see you next time in another tutorial. Take care. Thank you.